Good evening. This is a special meeting of the Oakley City Council. This meeting is called to order at 5:30 p.m. We'll do roll call. Councilmember Shaw.
Here.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Henderson.
Here.
And Councilmember Fuller.
Here.
And I am Mayor Aaron Meadows. 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, which will be led by, coming up, Pixel, Hadley, and Sloan Williams.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Item 2, closed session. 2.1, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, initiation of litigation. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, D2, one potential case. And 2.2, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision D of Section 54956.9, one potential case, letter from ACLU EFF dated May 25th, 2023, an email dated November 2nd, 2023. Once we're done with closed session, we'll come back out for public comments.
Good. 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 Haven't seen you for a while now. Come breakfast again.
No, I got tied up from Wednesday morning, so good. But I like your haircut.
My haircut. I don't know. I just got a cut the other day. So
Yeah.
It looks good right now, probably.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
That's it. See you later.
Okay, we're back from closed session, and we'll have a report out by Mr. Cole on our actions in closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The city council met in closed session to discuss two items. The first item was a legal claim by the ACLU regarding the city's use of automatic license plate readers. The city council received an update from council and the police department. No reportable action was taken. The council also met in closed session to discuss one potential item of business, and in that item, by motion by Councilmember Fuller, second by Councilmember Shaw, the council voted unanimously to authorize the filing of a health and safety code receivership against the property located at 3680 East Cypress Road, following a final effort to reach resolution with the property owners. No further action was reported.
Item 3, public comments. At this time, public comments will be heard for items not on the agenda. I do not have any public speaker cards submitted at this time. To submit a public comment, please complete a blue speaker card located in the lobby and submit to the city clerk. The time limit to speak is 3 minutes. The time limit is monitored by the timer located in front of the mayor's seat. When 1 minute remains on the timer, it will beep once as a reminder to complete comments before your time expires. Please refrain from any applause, cheering, booing, or other outbursts so that everyone may have an opportunity to be heard. Note that due to provisions of state law, the council may not engage in dialogue regarding comments. Staff may be directed to respond to persons making public comments. Are there any public comments at this time? Seeing none, we're now on item 4, and I guess I am done.
Well, with that, it's my honor to make some presentations to Mayor Meadows, and we have some special guests in the audience who are going to present those. First, we have Deputy District Director Janessa Oriel, Office of Congressman Mark Desaulnier.
I am here, my name is Janessa Oriel, Deputy District Director for Congressman Mark Desaulnier. I am pleased to be able to represent the Congressman. He's unfortunately in DC and sends his regrets, but wanted to send me to thank you for the year, thank you for your dedication to the City of Oakley, and present this certificate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have our district representative, our very own Claire Alora, Office of Senator Steve Glazier.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Claire Laura, and I know what it's like to sit on these seats, and I know what a tough job it can be and what a fulfilling job it can be. I also know how long you and your family have been here for generations, and how much you are dedicated to improving things in Oakley. So I congratulate you, and the Senator congratulates you for your year as mayor. And we know that great things will continue to come from you, from your family, from this council. So congratulations. And this is for you.
All right, next we have District Director Tiffany Jones, Office of Assemblymember Lori D. Wilson.
So he's joking with me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiffany Jones. I am honored to serve as a district director representing Assemblymember Lori Wilson. And thank you so much for your service. It has been a pleasure working with you this last year and a half, as well as the council. We have made a lot of accomplishments, and we are absolutely looking forward to continuing our partnership and relationship And we wish you the best of luck because you're like 10 minutes left and then you're really officially done. We were joking about this last week. Again, thank you again for your service. And we would like to present you with a certificate of recognition for your time as mayor from Assemblymember Lori Wilson, who regrets being out of town right now, but we'll be back soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, next we have Supervisor Diane Burgess and Communications Director Peter Myers, Contra Costa Board of Supervisors.
Hey, good evening. Supervisor Burgess apologizes. The very late Board of Supervisors meeting today. In her stead, I'd like to present to you this certificate of recognition, which reads, Supervisor Diane Burgess hereby recognizes Aaron Meadows for his dedicated service to the City of Oakley as mayor in 2023. His leadership, integrity, vision, and distinguished service on behalf of the residents of Oakley have made this community a better place to live. Very much. Oh, there you go. There we go.
Last but certainly not least, our city staff would like to take a moment to recognize you.
I will take care of that. First of all, before we recognize you formally for your wife, Amy, we know the time commitment that it takes to be a mayor. It's not just the meetings that happen twice a month here, but it's all the committees and boards you serve on and all the time you dedicate to this job. So we would like to present your beautiful wife with a bouquet of flowers. And right, I hit it right there. We got a couple things to present to you, and really what we would like to thank from staff and from each one of us, as was already said, I mean, your family's rooted here well over a century. You care about the city greatly. You have led and shown leadership through every action and decision you've made, and we want to thank you personally for the support you've given us over this past year. So this is a gift certificate to your favorite restaurant in the city of Oakley. Jalisco's, exactly. Right there. And lastly, we'd like to present to you a street sign that has been signed by many staff here. Gave you some parting words. And, Meadows Place.
What about Meadows Lane?
I thought place was more appropriate.
Where's Meadows Lane? It's named after us.
After you?
Yeah.
Well, now you have a place.
No, I'm good too.
Thank you.
Okay, he gets to sit in that chair for another moment. We are now moving on to item 4.2, comments by outgoing Mayor Meadows.
What's that?
It's been a good year. I have enjoyed being in this position. Like was said, I mean, my family's been here since the late 1800s and always thought this is my city. Great picture of the front. Highlight some of the things that we've done. A year ago, I talked about public safety and economic development being items that I wanted to focus on. So as a council and a city, obviously we set the policy and direction, but I mean, city staff carries all this out. We hired 5 police officers, bringing our total staffing in the PD to 100%. There's very few that can say that. I don't know of anybody else in Contra Costa County that can say that. We promoted 2 sergeants, and we hired, reclassified, promoted 6 non-sworn staff. I think this is pretty important. We created a new division and unit in the police department, which is the special services team, which was implemented in July of 2023. And it consists of 1 sergeant, 2 officers, and they're out proactively working within the city. Last Thursday, I was headed home and couldn't get through my street because they just had popped the grow house. So, I mean, they're active. We have a traffic unit now we hadn't had for a while. So be careful driving out there. You can see the equipment that was ordered this last year, but we continue to upgrade the equipment that the PD has, and I believe the council's definitely in support of our police department. So thank you for what you guys done this year. Community development, economic development. Today, we received an application for, so going back to the economic development part. I mean, this is something that I pushed, I said a year ago, but also my campaign. And this is what I've been about for really my life in Oakley. So we received an application for 3.2 million square feet. So we received an application today from JB2 Partners, LLC, for 3.2 million square feet around the light industrial, the Contra Costa Logistics Center. So it's to the east and to the south of the current Contra Costa Logistics Center on the Klein properties. It'll generate definitely property taxes, potentially sales tax, jobs. I mean, I'd kind of just thought about the number of jobs we could be looking at, and it could be upwards of 4,000 additional jobs. And the city's been working on it for a while, working with the family. So finally today it came in. And this is huge. Huge for Oakley, but huge also for the region. Citywide retail and industrial revitalization grant program. So we've implemented a revitalization program to work with the Oakley businesses for tenant improvements, to help them improve their space, help them with facade improvements, and they can get grants up to $50,000 per business. And this just helps keep those businesses in Oakley, which I wholeheartedly support. We've sold several parcels of land this year that were city-owned, and I can't speak for the, I can assume, but I can't speak for the rest of the council, but for many years, some of the previous councils, they had bought these parcels for different reasons, redevelopment, some of it came out of, and we're selling some of them. And we sold the Scipolini's building, we sold Mr. Pickles, we've sold a 40,000 square foot lot that is against the train tracks to the east of Hook, Line, and Sinker. And then we've also sold the White House. This is the lot that I'm talking about. Actually, this isn't the lot I'm talking about. This is another parcel that we sold. It was out off East Cypress Road, and this sale will generate us at least $7.35 million in income, so that we can continue to improve East Cypress Road. I know some of our citizens are don't necessarily believe that we're really doing anything out there, but we've, for the 3 years I've sat here, and Vice Mayor Williams is shaking her head, same thing. We've pushed to improve that road because it's needed. And so this is just another piece of what we're trying to do. And so hopefully in spring, this parcel will close and help us move that project along. So another piece that we've sold, or we're in contract to sell, we haven't sold it, it hasn't closed yet, is the southeast corner of Neroli and Main Street. And we're working on trying to bring in retail, potentially to that site, again, to create sales tax and property tax revenue for us. And then this is the White House I was talking about. We sold this to Julie Del Barbara, and she's got some ideas. She did a good job with the bistro, and so we're looking forward to what she does here. Potentially, she's mentioned wine tasting. We'll see. We also completed our housing element. It was certified May 24th. The council adopted on May 29th, and it was certified by the state on May 24th. It was past the deadline, but there's a good number of cities in Contra Costa County, including Contra Costa County, that have not, do not have a certified housing element as of right now. So we do. And thank you to the staff for pushing that and having a good relationship with who they worked with in the state and the consultant. So we have ours done. Infrastructure projects in 2023, typical curb gutter and sidewalk replacement projects, the 50-50 split with the property owners, where we'll help them replace their sidewalks if need be. The downtown parking lot construction project, we've constructed a new parking lot, the north side of Main and Norcross. We had a ribbon cutting last week, add about 280 parking spots back there. And if you tried to go into the Oakley Plaza parking lot at certain times in the evening, there's not a lot of parking in there. Oakley Civic Center Emergency Generator Project. This project was underway when the three of us got sworn in 3 years ago, and it's finally about done. We also installed solar on our rooftop here. The downtown Gateway Plaza and infrastructure project, that's really, I guess, where the ribbon cutting was. We will, in the near future, be working, will start to have the train platform built. So you will see that soon. And that platform will be from 2nd Street to Norcross. And again, the East Cypress road widening. So hopefully in February, we will start work on the segment from Knightson Avenue to just west of the canal. Contracts in place. Looks like we're finally going to sign off, get a sign off on permits we need from the feds. So hopefully in February, that section of road will be underway, and the people out in Summer Lakes and Bethel Island will see some progress. Actually see it, not just hear about it. We also been working on the Laurel Road extension over the BNSF tracks, which would go from Teton Road to Sellers Avenue. That project will help alleviate congestion out in East Cypress, but that project's also ways out. It's probably a $40 million+ project. We worked on the Rico Cinquini Park construction project, which I actually worked on this project when I was on OMAC 30 years ago. And then it's interesting to have Rico's name on it since known him all my life, and he lived right there, really, so, and he used to own it. The city did a reorganization of positions, and we're in the process of implementing a new ERP software package, and with that, we did a reorganization. My opinion, streamline and put the right people in places, and I think it's been great with great people. So I want to thank the council. You guys have been good to work with. Staff, we have a great staff here. So thank you. And thank my family. So thank you. I guess I'm done.
I mean, I'm going to be a little teary right now. Okay, we're moving on to item 5, reorganization of the Oakley City Council. 5.1 is selection of mayor and vice mayor. We will have an overview of the selection process presented by Derek Cole, our city attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. So this is the time of year where we change the mayor and vice mayor. This year, you will be following the procedure that has been spelled out in our city code for, I think, forever, certainly as long as I've been city attorney. As the council knows, and for the public's benefit, this council has switched to district elections. And at this time, we're sort of piecing that together. We have a combination of at-large council members elected in 2020 and 2 districted council members elected in 2022. So as of 2024, we will have a fully districted council, and the council this past year enacted a new process for selecting the mayor and the vice mayor that will be based on the council district. That will start officially at this time next year. So when we meet in December, we will follow that process. But for now, the process is that we have a rotation schedule. And the rotation is based on 2 factors. The first factor is the length of experience on the council. And then if there are council members who are tied, in other words, we have actually 3 council members who are now 3 years in, then we look at the number of votes that were received. And so the second tiebreaker is who received the most votes. Councilmember Meadows was the mayor this year. He will be going to the end of the rotation if we were to follow this process that we have in place. The next member up for mayor on our rotation schedule is current Vice Mayor Williams. And so it is up to the council now to take action, but if we follow the rotation schedule, the action to be taken would be for you to appoint Vice Mayor Williams as your mayor, and that would need to occur by a standard vote.
Okay, with that, I will announce item B, selection of mayor. Do I have a motion?
I would love to nominate Vice Mayor Williams as our next mayor. Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I guess that was unanimous. Thanks, everybody. All right, so now we need to move on to vice mayor. Oh, just kidding.
Yes, so
Sorry, I'm new.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, so now it is your turn to vote for the vice mayor. The vice mayor basically exercises the authority of the mayor when the mayor is not present or not available. And so the same rotation schedule and tiebreaker would exist. And so the person who would have the next priority would be Dr. Fuller. And so then it would be, to follow the rotation schedule, then you would appoint Dr. Fuller as the vice mayor.
Do I have a motion for vice mayor?
I move that we appoint Councilmember Fuller as vice mayor.
Well, I'll second my own nomination.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
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 Okay, so we have a bit of an interpretation issue here, so I will share this. So you've taken a vote not to appoint Dr. Fuller as vice mayor, and so we are, again, under the existing code, not the 2025 process, and let me find that, excuse me. So now we are in code section 2.1005. And so that section does require the rotation to be followed, but there is a letter, paragraph I, that says the council may decline to appoint a member to serve as mayor or vice mayor if a majority of the city council determines that the person has experienced or exhibited any of the following. And then section I gives 6 circumstances. One would be a violation of law or city policy, or that the council member has been or is being investigated for a violation of a law or policy. Number 2 is there has been intemperate, rude, or disparaging remarks or conduct toward the public, staff, or city council. The third circumstance is lack of leadership or communication skills. The fourth circumstance is excessive absenteeism. The fifth circumstance is any other conduct that would be considered to be unprofessional or unbecoming of the position of mayor or vice mayor. And then 6, the determination that the person does not have the available time to assume the additional duties of mayor or vice mayor. So if we are not to follow the rotation, the only way we could permissibly do that is if one of these findings or one or more of these grounds is invoked. I think that would need to be stated on the record. So if you're going to make a motion to appoint somebody else, then you would need to explain the reasons why Dr. Fuller is not being put up because he is the one with the tenure and the tiebreaker. So we would need a record of which, if any of those grounds, is the reason why you're appointing somebody else.
Okay, so from the noes, do we have anybody who would like to make a reason and appoint somebody else?
Item 2, intemperate, rude, or disparaging remarks or conduct toward public, staff, or city council has been
I can't
exhibited.
hear you.
Item number 2, intemperate, rude, or disparaging remarks or conduct toward the public, staff, or city council is my reason.
Can you name one?
If you would like to have a conversation outside of this, I'd rather not.
No, I'd rather have the conversation in public.
I was just asked to name my reason, and that is my reason.
I would expect an explanation, wouldn't you, Mr. Cole?
This is ultimately for the council to decide. So I just want to be clear that if you are going to not appoint as vice mayor the person with the current seniority and tiebreak, which is Dr. Fuller, a motion needs to be made specifying which of the grounds on which you are relying, and then the person that you seek to appoint. there is an ambiguity in our code in that it doesn't say who is appointed vice mayor in this situation. It just says you may not, it says you don't have to appoint the person who's got the rotational seniority, but it doesn't specify, can you just pick any of you, or do you have to go next on the list? And then that presents another interpretation issue because we have Councilmember Shaw and Councilmember Henderson who were elected by district. So if they're on the rotation, then you have that issue we have of, I believe Councilmember Shaw had a write-in candidate as her opponent, and whereas, is that correct? And so Councilmember Henderson had, I believe you had one opponent, Councilmember Henderson. So that was the issue we talked about when we adopted our new rotational standard, is that, one district may have 3 candidates, one district may have 4 candidates, and so going by number doesn't work. So what I would suggest is that if it is the pleasure of the council not to appoint based on the seniority and tiebreak, that somebody specify the reasons under the code, which of these grounds, and that you just appoint, I think you can appoint any member subject to their willingness if they're appointed.
Councilmember Henderson.
I'll make a motion to appoint Councilmember Shaw as vice mayor based on interpretations of Section E, number 2, number 3, and number 5.
So I just want to put on the record that you may be looking at the code section that applies next year. We're still in section 2.1.005, and so the letter would be section I, and then that has 1 through 6, but it's the same language. And so so I just want to clarify, Councilmember Henderson, you're relying on grounds 2, 3, and 5 in subsection I of section 2.1.005. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I know we have a motion on the floor, but Councilmember Fuller's name lit up. So, Councilmember Fuller.
Well, if the nomination for Councilmember Shaw goes through, I would ask that we postpone that until the California Attorney General can review circumstances that regrettably have developed. I have reason to believe, and so do many others, that Councilmember Shaw and Councilmember Henderson laundered their campaign contributions from O'Hara Properties and from De Nova Homes. They sent the donations back, and the California Real Estate Association Political Action Committee, CREPAC, reissued the same amount within a few days to the council member. That allowed them to vote on their projects, especially Mr. Banky's project regarding the McDonald's. SB 1439 was in play, and it did pass, and it was signed by the governor. There was talk that neither Councilmember Shaw nor Councilmember Henderson could vote on the projects at that time. It went to the legislative analyst, and they said they could vote, but at that point, the laundering had already occurred. I did make a sworn complaint with the Fair Political Practices Commission in Sacramento. They reviewed it. The Enforcement Division of the Fair Political Practice Commission elected not to pursue it. I talked to Laura Wagner, that was the handling agent out of the FPPC, and she said they did not elect to pursue it because they did not have the resources. I was not surprised. It's a very complicated, convoluted area involving many, many parties. CPAC CREPAC has over $4 million in funds to defend themselves. They did not feel that they had the resources to pursue a proper investigation, and I believe it's going on to the California State Attorney General's office for review to see if there's a criminal prosecution by anyone, and they do have the resources to investigate it. So I would ask that we wait on Councilmember Shaw until there's an opinion coming back from the California Attorney General that it was not laundering, that they will not pursue it. And beyond that, there's an administrative procedure too, but I believe that's where it's going at this time.
Can I go back to the motion now since we have a motion on the floor?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor this is seconding for Councilmember Shaw to be appointed as vice mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Okay, 4-1. Okay, we will now move on to 5.2, administration of oaths of office to the newly appointed mayor and vice mayor, to be led by Libby Veronis, our city clerk.
Good evening, Council. I'd like to invite our newly appointed Mayor Williams and Vice Mayor Shaw to meet me at the podium to take the oath of office, please.
Solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Okay, 5.3, comments by a newly appointed mayor. Sorry, you guys, you know I'm a little bit long-winded. I'm going to try and go as quick as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed council members, and the wonderful residents of Oakley, I stand before you today deeply honored and humbled to have been elected by my fellow council members to serve as mayor for the city in 2024. In 2020, I entered the realm of public service with a vision to enhance our beautiful city, especially during the challenging times brought by COVID. Our community faced struggles, but I saw an opportunity to make a lasting impact. Together with our very dedicated team, I aim to foster an Oakley that is not only resilient, but accessible and inclusive for all. As we move forward, let us embark on a journey of growth, collaboration, and celebration. I eagerly anticipate collaborating with the Economic Development and the new Oakley Chamber of Commerce to attract local, unique small businesses. By partnering with agencies and nonprofits, we can address the evolving needs of our ever-growing, one-of-a-kind community. Affordable housing is a key priority, and I am committed to bringing varied housing options that cater to the diverse socioeconomic range of our residents, both current and future. Our goal is to create a city that embraces everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances. In the midst of our everyday lives, let's not forget to celebrate the moments that define us. Next year, Oakley marks 25 years of cityhood. and I, alongside Councilmember Meadows and our dedicated staff anniversary committee, will orchestrate a series of engaging activities and events to commemorate Oakley's silver anniversary. Our commitment to community welfare extends to ensuring transportation safety. By initiating improvements to East Cypress Road and Laurel Road, we aim to create safer thoroughfares. The road widening projects, scheduled to commence in early 2024, reflect our dedication to the well-being of our residents. Excitement fills the air as we embark on the endeavor to fund and design a library that meets the diverse needs of our growing community. I look forward to collaborating with community partners, including the county, Friends of the Oakley Library, Senior Club, veterans, to bring forth a 15 to 20,000 square foot library, a space for families, students, and seniors alike. As our community expands, so does our responsibility to ensure safety. Our police department staff is growing and are diligently working to provide adequate space for future officers, ensuring the safety and well-being of all Oakley residents. In the coming year, I'm eager to work hand in hand with our exceptional staff and our dedicated council members to continue the journey of making Oakley the heart of the Delta, a community where everyone wants to live, work, and play. Thank you for entrusting me with this responsibility. Together, let us build a brighter, more vibrant future for Oakley. Before I conclude, I must take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to our outgoing mayor, Aaron Meadows. He has been an outstanding role model, a guiding force who has paved the way for the exciting infrastructure and safety initiatives that have already begun to shape our city. Aaron's leadership and dedication have set a high standard, and I'm honored to follow in his footsteps. His commitment to Oakley has been exemplary, and I extend my sincere appreciation for his tireless efforts in making our community a better place. As we transition leadership, let us acknowledge and celebrate the legacy of Mayor Meadows. His contributions have laid a strong foundation for the positive changes we envision for Oakley's future. Thank you, Aaron, for your service, inspiration, and the enduring impact you've had on our city. Okay, now it's time to adjourn. Thank you for joining this meeting. There's no further business. This meeting will be adjourned. We welcome everyone to join us in the lobby for a brief reception before the regular meeting has begun.